Hello, everybody. Once again, and I think this is the last class for this semester. After this class, we are going to take a rest until September. Then, if you are still interested in meditation, in in September, we still have meditation class. Okay? So here now, it's 3 p.m. in Dallas. So I think if you are ready, then we just go into the session, the last session of this semester. So again, I would like to remind you, since our class is meditation, awareness through mindfulness. So this class, we are going to practice more about the mindful meditation way. And also we are talking about what is mindfulness and what is awareness. So that's our class today. And now let's go into some warming up about our physical body parts. Okay, the first one, we have our head rotate a little bit. So first to the left and look back. And back to the right and look back. 1, 2, 3. To the center, again, left, looking back. 1, 2, 3. Back to the center, to right. 1, 2, 3. The third time, to your left, looking back. 1, 2, 3. To the center, to your right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now let's rotate slowly our head. You can bend your head a little bit, and we rotate our head from left side slowly, right side, and to the center. Again, left side, right side, to the center. Again, left side, right side, to the center. Now from right side to left side. Right side, left side, center. Right side, to the center. Okay, now our shoulder. Put our hands on our shoulder. We move from forward to backward. 1, 2, 3. Backward to forward. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now, our arms. Left hand, left arm up to your shoulder height. Then we are going to pat. So from our shoulder, patting change to our right hand. So patting. Left hand again. Right hand. Again, left hand. Right hand. Okay, now we can do the whole upper body. We can rotate our upper body from left side to right side. Again, left side to right side. Left side to right side. Now from right side to left side. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now it's our knee. We have our knees close to our upper body. Pocket tight. Okay, now put it down. Our right knee. Raise it up, pocket, and put it down. Again, our left knee up, close it tight. Okay, put it down. Our right knee up, close to your body, put it down. One more time. Left knee up, close it, put it down. Right knee, close it to your chest. Okay, put it down. And practicing our feet. So left foot up and your toes up, toes down, toes up and toes down, toes up and toes down. Okay. Now change to our right foot up, toes up, toes down, toes up, toes down, toes up, toes down. Again, right foot up, toes up, toes down, toes up, toes down, toes up, and toes down. Right foot up, toes up, toes down, toes up, toes down, toes up, toes down. Okay. One more time. Left foot up, toes up, and your toes down, up, down, up, down. Right foot up, toes up, Toes down. Up, down, up, down. Okay. Now swing our body a little bit and prepare for sitting meditation. Check your position, if that's comfortable or not for you, because we are going to sit for 20 minutes. If you are in an AC air conditioning room, please, if you have your knee blanket, please spread it and cover your knees. Okay, preparing our 7th point of meditation. Your head, your spine, your tongue, your eyes gazing, and your body after checking. Let's begin. Again, breathing in and out. And maybe this time or the last time for you to pay attention to your breathing in and out. Remember to feel your breathing in and out through your 2 nostrils. When you breathe in, when you breathe out. As always, pay attention to the triangle area. That's the middle part of your lips and the down part of your 2 nostrils. If you have any blind thoughts arising, don't be distracted by them. Just breathing in and out. Before we open our eyes, please rub your two hands till they are warm. Massage your face, your head, and your neck. Rub them again. Massage your shoulder and your back. Rub your two hands again. Massage your legs, your knees, and your feet. Now, if you're covered with your blanket, please fold them back and put it on your right-hand side. Xing Qilai walking meditation. Break time. So, welcome back, everyone. Okay, let me adjust my screen here. Okay, it's good. So, just as we know that today is the last, finally, the last class of our semester. So everyone should be happy because right now we have at least 10 hours of getting more familiar with the sitting meditation, and also I'll get familiar with the mindfulness, not mindfulness, okay? Mindfulness and awareness. And for the last time, we didn't, before we didn't emphasizing what is mindfulness and what is awareness. Actually, mindfulness and awareness are the foundations of meditation. So no matter we say mindfulness or awareness, they are just like the two wings of the bird. With these foundations that we can go further, we can develop more about our own mind. So I would like to mention or share with you the difference of mindfulness and awareness. So for meditation, no matter how long it is, after we sitting, after we have learned some ways or some skills, we must have developed ourselves. That's natural because by sitting and counting your breathing, and also you calm your mind down, and it's a way, a very natural way to develop your calmness and your resilience of yourself. So the mindfulness here, just like I choose this picture from Google. I think this is a good picture. See, we have the spacious sky. You can call it a blue sky, but here is something brightening. Maybe that's the sun. And we have the hills, and also we have the trees. And of course, above us, it's the cloud. So the nature actually teaching us, if our mind is clear and our mind is spacious, actually we don't have so much angers or so much attachment in our own mind. So what's the meaning of mindfulness? Okay, let's take a look at these. So let me, I forgot. How do I forgot. Okay. Now, about mindfulness, if we want to do the distinguishing between mindfulness and awareness, of course, breathing is the first step. And gradually, when we are familiar with breathing and we feel all is comfortable by breathing, and we can go to the second step, that's mindfulness. And mindfulness is a kind of way, it's very simple when we say that, just your full attention to the present moment. And of course, you can see the second line is simple, right? Yes, very good. It's very simple. Comparing, I mean, for me, my experience is that I'm not quite mindful these days because, as you know, we have to do the temple affairs, and also we have too many. I'm not complaining, but that's the fact. We have too many virtual meetings, right? Virtual virtual classes. Everything goes on virtual. And usually I would think I won't have that much busy before the pandemic. But during the pandemic, you rely on the modern devices. You have to plan ahead. You have to do anything ahead of your schedule, ahead of your time. So I don't think I am mindful, all these days, but I try to. That's why we are trained when we having or encountering such a situation. So mindfulness actually in just one word or two words is present time, the present moment. But this kind of present moment, you have to pay your full attention. So we can explain that mindfulness is fully at the present moment. And maybe you will think, what is the present moment? The present moment, of course, I just said, just like me, we have to plan ahead. We are worried about the future, and we sometimes regret about our past. And that's not fully, pay attention to your present moment. Why we take the breathing as the focal object? Because we are always breathing. And the breathing, we can say, if you want to make difference, we have the breathing in 1 second or 1 second before, and the other second is not yet come. So we are breathing. That's we are living at the present moment. But what about our mind? Our mind is sometimes is out of control, because when we try to stabilize our body, our mind still running around. So it's not the present moment. So when we say the present moment, we say we see ourselves, we see within ourselves, we see within our body and our mind. So as the body part, then we have the breathing, right? Breathing in and breathing out. And another part is from our bodily sensation. So we know that we are living in the present moment. Of course, it's not related, I'm suffer right now. Yes, I'm suffer, that means our mind is living in the present moment because you feel I'm suffer. So what's the way to do about the present moment? Maybe you will say at the present moment, I'm okay. But somebody say at the present moment, I am in suffer. So why we are doing mindfulness practitioner? Because we have to remember when we say the mindfulness training, even though we are pay fully attention to the present moment feeling, the present moment breathing, the present moment physical sensation, we have to recognize it. And somebody said, yeah, I feel suffer. I recognize that, I know that, I notice that. But that's not mindfulness training. The mindfulness training, let's take these example. Remember, I have the 9 stages of calm abiding practice. So this is the first stage, that's stabilizing the mind. The stabilizing the mind, I have the other here. At your right-hand side, that's the little picture with the Chinese painting. that's searching the ox. And in the big picture is stabilizing the mind. Ox or elephant, symbolizing our mind. So you can see we living as a human being, living in the modern society, most of the time, I think I'm still here, chasing. Every day I chase my schedule. Every day I hear the phone, I answer the phone. I was chased actually. So like my mind and myself has distance. That's not living at the present moment. That's why we start to look for our mind. We start the first stage, stabilizing our mind. And it says completely our mind on the first stage. Before we want to do the searching, our mind is under the sway of five senses objects and mental emotional events. See, sometimes I get a little bit anxiety because maybe you will find that in one day we have 3 virtual meetings. I have that kind of experience. Even 4 times I try to compromise them, but you know, the meeting is not only for yourself, it's for a group. So I try to compromise them and I try to attend all the virtual meetings. And especially in your time zone and in my time zone, sometimes it's difficult for me to count. And I remember 4 times I got mixed up with my time zone. So I didn't attend the meeting. So 4 times because I have to count on my own time. But the meeting was hosted by from the other time zone. So see, these 5 senses objects, we are under the sway of those. And here, but we have to wait. We have to find a way. So you can see this, the monk with the rope and the hook. He's raising his hook. That means he wants to control his mind. He wants to research his mind, even though they are a distance. So that's the way he is chasing. And here we have a monkey. The monkey, that's a distraction and that's scattering focus. So when we on the journey of learning meditation, of course, everyone have the same experience. We have scattered thinking, we have scattered the focus. It's a little bit hard for us to pay fully attention, but it's okay because the best thing is that we start to practice and we start to look for our mind. So from the first stage or from the research of the mind, we have development. And now we have the mindfulness. We train ourselves to be mindful to the present moment. So here, when we practice mindful meditation, we are training in recognizing our thoughts, our bodily, physical sensations, and also we see our feelings and our memories and our emotions. They are arising at the moment, or you can say moment by moment, it's changing, but it's okay because we are training ourselves. And the situation is very natural. And what we are going to do, no matter what kind of situation you're encountering in your emotions or in your thoughts, the most important is that at that moment, you just recognizing it and you acknowledge that and you just let them pass, just like the clouds in a blue sky. So that's mindful meditation. When I was in Boston, the Massachusetts General Hospital, they started a program. They used the mindfulness techniques to train their patient who has cancer. The way when I joined them, the way they use is that they recognize their cancer. They recognize their suffering, but they don't pay full attention to recognize this is my cancer, or this is my suffering, or I'm suffering from my cancer. Instead, they were taught to, I'm watching this cancer. There is no using the word my or I. So they were trained to pay attention or focus on their cancer, but they don't say my suffering. They say this is the cancer. So when we do that, that's the same thing. We see our emotion, we acknowledge our thoughts are flying, are scattering here and there, but it's okay. We know them and we let them pass. Just like the clouds, when you have a good day, you see the clouds, we feel the clouds are very light. It just pass by very quick. So when we do the mindfulness practicing, we settle the mind in a focus point, such as breathing or the rhythm of breathing. Or we scan our body parts. That's physical sensation. And we recognize our feeling, but just let them pass. So every time we realize that the mind has drifted away from its focal point, and then we gently but firmly just bring it back. So in mindfulness practicing, we recognize everything, our thoughts, our sensations, our perception, our emotions, or our doubt, everything. But at this moment, we just let them go. We know them, but we don't grab them. So that's the mindfulness practicing. And the most important thing is that we don't make a judgment. That's why a patient with cancer, they were taught, don't say, this is my suffering. I am suffering. Just saying, this is the cancer. This is the suffering. That's not my suffering, even though you feel that, but you don't grab that. You don't grab that kind of concept that I am suffering. So in mindfulness practicing, it's simply, of course, it's simple because it's the process of letting go everything. And by the way of letting go of everything, of course, you gradually, we let go our fears gradually. Maybe you don't notice that, but actually it. And of course, you cast away, you carry away your worries because you just let them pass. You know, but you just let them pass and you don't do the judgment. So by noticing, or you can say recognizing, acknowledging, I would say acknowledging the impermanence, just like the moment by moment, a thought after another thought. Or you can say this moment by moment changes of our body and our mind. And the most important thing is that no judgment, without any judgment or favoritism, just let it pass by. So that's mindfulness practicing. But actually, that's not the end. Up to this level, our mindful practice, we can more relax with our emotion. We can more relax with our anger, with our fear, but that's not the end. Remember, Shakyamuni Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree. I think I talk about what did it do. I have the presentation about Mara. And at that presentation, I said, I just wondering, it is out of my curiosity, what did the Buddha do actually in his mind? So when we do the mindfulness practicing, and when we really relax and let go of so many things, we don't do the judgments, but what next? There is another way. So the next will bring up our own awareness. Since we open our heart to accept everything, that's why our awareness becomes more sensible and very easy. We can see our awareness. So that's why we say mindfulness practice, okay, is not the end, but we have to do more. The mindfulness teaches the way to be. We cannot shape the world to our expectation. We don't say, I want my way like this. I want to change the way like that. We cannot do that. Even though we do our mindfulness practice, but there is one thing for sure, that we can have more resilience. We can attend more interaction with the world, and we can have more patience and tolerance with this world around us. So you can say that a sense of clearing, seeing with respect and tolerance, and of course with compassion for what it is when we see the world. So mindfulness can teach us that. But even though we sometimes, of course, everyone has emotions, but once your anger arises, in a certain time, and you know, you recognize the anger is arising, then you can next step, you can do something about it. Just like when we get angry to each other, then if one of the person just go away and the fight won't be happen. So the mindfulness training give us the experience of noticing everything, our emotion around us, our thinking in our brain or in our mind. And we don't have to really open our eyes to hear or to see, but open our eyes of mind. Open our mind, then we can hear, then we can see, and we can experience. So that's the mindfulness practicing bring us. But as I said, it's not the end. After mindfulness practicing, we have to bring up our consciousness or our awareness to be more sharpened. So that's why we need, again, continuously our awareness meditation practicing. So what's the awareness meditation? In nowadays, for them, they will see awareness meditation is insight meditation, or there is a word in Pali, vipassana. Maybe you have heard of that. And in America, there are a lot of places they have a vipassana center. I went there twice or three times to have 10 days practicing. And one thing I found out is that when we notify our awareness and we become more honest to ourselves, because in the mindful, that is my experience. Of course, it doesn't apply to everyone, but I do the comparison that after the 10 days of insight meditation, that I become more honest, to myself, to every single thought, more open to myself. And of course, when you open your heart and you feel more lighter, that's my experience. So I think that's the awareness meditation will bring us more insight and more open. That's the result. So it has saying here that the quality of presence developed through mindfulness practice. But awareness bring us is an active investigation into the nature of our mind and also its functions, our mind's functions, which means just like the surgery doctor, when he see the patient, of course, he needs to do some investigation and find out what's the root for the illness. And for a practitioner, it's the same. Yeah, we can't just let everything pass. We can't just, so. But it's not still our goal. Remember, our goal is the wisdom of alleviate ourselves to the suffering of the cycle of birth and death. That's why Shakyamuni Buddha himself, he abandoned his royal life and royal family. He went for 6 years at least for investigating himself. I think that's the very courageous thing to do that. So I think that's the same situation when we train ourselves with awareness meditation, we will be more open to ourselves. Because remember, the most enemy, the strongest enemy is from our mind, is ourself. So I will use this to explain. Again, this is the 5 steps, the 9 steps of calm abiding skills. And here is the number 4, the 4th stage, that means near stabilize or near stabilization. The first one we saw is chasing, right? Just like me, always chasing all kinds of schedule ahead. So right now, after the mindfulness training or awareness training, then we are near stabilization. And you can see this drawing or the picture. The rope is on the neck of the elephant and the rabbit and the monkey, and also the elephant itself is half white. So that means purified. The mind is purified. I think that's the most important for our awareness practicing. And here, you can say also here for the small picture, the little ox herder, he got the ox. He saw the ox and he caught the ox, but still a little bit struggling because our mind is still very, it's not easy to control. So we need more awareness, meditation to get more stabilization. So here you can see the words here. We have the distraction, anxiety, ignorance, and always we have a lot of doubt, uncertainty, and that's a fogginess. And right now at this stage, it's gradually diminished. And with the power of awareness and alertness, the meditator firmly understands what is being done and what is occurring. So that's the description of the awareness meditation. Of course, in mindful practice, we living in the present moment, but we want to get more deeper with our mind. We know we have a lot of negativity, and we would like to learn more why we have these negativity and what's our habit that will form from the endless cycle of life and birth. So here that the rope of the elephant's neck is loose because the mind is quite obedient. I think that's a good or proper description after we have some time of the training from awareness. And of course, it's not exactly the same, but this is equivalent. I mean, just something like that to describe our awareness practitioner. And we have the conclusion. We use our awareness of thoughts, emotion, and sensation that arise in the mind stream as the actual focal point of the meditation. That's why I said I learned to be more honest to myself. Maybe we hide, or in our subconsciousness, we didn't know. When we have a behavior, or when we say something, we say, oh, I forgot. I didn't say that, I forgot. But all things we said, all words we said, or all things we done, I mean, including our previous life, is all in our subconsciousness. So when we sit with quietness, and all the thoughts, emotions, and sensations will all come to our mind. And that's, we need some ways to watch them. And we need some skills to purify them. So to me, it's a journey of self-transformation, of course, through the self-observation or self-reflection. And by this procedure, we dissolve the mental impurity and we get a balanced body and mind. And of course, we have more love and compassion to the world. So I think that's the awareness meditation will bring us, okay? So I will have these again. If we make our meditation to be a habit, the fourth is that we near stabilization, and we have to get this kind of stabilization in our mind as a habit. So still, we need the hook. See, here is the hook that the meditator putting on the head of the elephant, very cautiously. And still we use our awareness to bring us into more deeper and to dissolve our negativity. So here it says the fifth stage is habituation. And of course, we have later, then we have specifying, we have thorough specifying, and also we enter samadhi, the deep, deep state of meditation. And we have the stage beyond. And at last, we become enlightened. So by the way of practicing, we have a long way to go before we attain enlightenment, okay? So that's what I want to share with you. Since we are learning awareness through mindfulness, so I think at the last class, I should, even though maybe not very clear, but it's just a little bit the general idea to let you know what's the difference of mindfulness and awareness. So that's what I want to share you. And this is the end. I wish everyone here, even though this is the last class, but just like eat 3 meals a day, we still need meditation practice. No matter it's breathing or mindfulness or awareness practicing, just keep it and just keep doing it and getting the best out of it. That's my encouragement words to you. Just like the little person can sit there in a very easy moment, and we can grow in our mind the wisdom, because you can see this picture, we have the Bodhi tree above his head. By practicing more and more, we gain a little bit the wisdom a day, so we will feel more lighter. We will feel more happier, because that's the practicing meditation can bring us. Okay, so thank you joining me, and thank you for your time. I wish this course will bring you more calmness and openness, and of course, a little bit, maybe a little bit joy or happiness to your life. So if you would like, then we will see in September, because they asked me to have again. Maybe they said you didn't do it good, you have to do it the second time. So I will see you in September if you're still interested in getting more information about meditation, and also join the group meditation, even though it's through online. But I think I'm glad you were here with me and sitting, even though only once in a week, sitting with me for 20 minutes. I think that's very precious for me, right? So goodbye until September. Please keep safe and healthy. Okay?
Thank you, Mama Pasha. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
See you.
And bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.
Chào.